National Honor Society, Kevin Commence again. Kevin Commence is, if you recall, he was a young man we hired for a math teacher. He came to us from, I believe, from China via New Jersey. He taught in China for 4 years. Pretty impressive young man. He's new to school. Junior high student council advisor, Emily Rosales, is at least be the second year, I think maybe the third year that Emily has done that. Special education idea grant, Maritu Beltran. JOM in Title VI, Leonard Edlund. He is a gentleman to my right who's done a lot of work with vocational ed. Band director, Mr. Jesse Green. Art director, Ms. Heidi Salos. Art club advisor, Ms. Heidi Salos. Yearbook advisor, Donnell Connolly. High school student council advisor, Emily Rosales, so she would be doing 7-12 student council. CTE JTED director, Leonard Edlund. EL English language learners coordinator, Dr. Marianne Donalanta. She did this the last 2 years. And last but not least, Power School Tech mentor, Mr. KC, Babu KC. So we'll recommend those people for those stipends.
Question?
And, yes, ma'am.
So here we normally see athletics. There aren't any, do you have any update on that from our athletic league or?
Good question.
Can I?
We've had no, obviously we didn't start with football. Our fall sports are volleyball and football. Winter sports are basketball and basketball. Spring sports are golf, softball, and baseball. Our athletic association, several years ago, we left the AIA, which is schools from the size of ours till 3,000 or 4,000. AIA is more expensive on the dues, but there's other things we have to pay for with CAA. We belong to Canyon Athletic Association, which is a lot of charter schools, a few private schools, church schools. They want us to have a plan. They want us to start a program. We did not start, obviously, in the fall because you can't keep social distancing with football or volleyball. I was asked by the athletic director, which is my opinion, we can't keep social distancing for basketball either. And we would have had to have paid our dues in about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So at the time, we said we won't participate in basketball. Basketball would have started about now or within the next couple of weeks and would run through roughly the end of January or middle of February, something like that. So I worry. I did not choose to do that, so it's on me. And one of the reasons I didn't, I think if we're having social distancing and online learning during an academic day, we're sending a real difficult message to explain to students in the community why it's not healthy for kids to be in school for academic work, but it is okay for athletics. So that was the thinking. But the short answer to your question is we're not starting fall or winter sports. Now, hopefully, the CDC has talked about, the CDC talked about sports that they really support, golf and cross country. We don't have cross country anymore. We haven't had since I've been in Idaho, but we do have golf. So I would hope at least we can do golf. Maybe we'll have a larger golf team. We usually have about 9, 10 kids go out for golf. But we'll see what's happening in the country by the end of January. That's kind of where we are. Does that answer your question?
Yes, and I'm wondering, since competitive athletics seem like they're off the table for now at least, but things like cross country can be done locally, like without competing, if they can.
Well, they want us to compete. They want
Right,
to
but I'm thinking of, like, is there opportunity to maybe convert kids that would normally be doing a competitive sport to a club sport instead, where
Intramural.
right, like more of a.
I've thought about intramurals. No one's talked to me about it because we still have. It would save, from my perspective, it would save on gasoline and salaries and so on and so forth than driving 2 or 3 hours one way to play a game. But we still have, I think, the social distancing issue we have to deal with. Now, definitely cross country. If we had cross country, someone who knew cross country, that would definitely, I think, be safer. Golf would definitely be safer. I would hope that we can definitely do golf, but think softball and baseball are safe because of the size of the field and so on and so forth, but you have runners that can be close to basemen, you're gonna have batters close to catchers and so on and so forth, so there could be an argument.
And I would hope we would start doing something maybe with some bicycle program and, you know, so I mentioned a while back that I'd love to see a walking club, but we have to be very careful about the physical distancing side of things with that too. Not having kids grouped together, you know, that would be one of the things that we would have to look at. But I think the bicycling club would be a really good beginning to look at that, as long as we're sanitizing the bikes really well, those kids come back in.
So if we got a cross-country coach, we could do cross-country.
That's something we could sure look at.
I was gonna ask if that's the main reason we don't have cross-country is lack of a coach?
I don't know when I don't know if the schools had cross-country.
In the fall.
Yeah, the last person I knew was a big cross-country star from years older than I am. And so I don't know, as he went to high school here. So it's been quite a few years. I don't know if they've had cross-country since the reduced the size of the high school or not. The only thing we've reduced in recent years in athletics was we reduced track. We moved track. We had an override election about a decade ago, and we lost, and we had to make some cuts financially. We cut out track. And the year before, we had a fantastic track team. The year that we cut track, we didn't have, it impacted very, very few students. Not saying that there wouldn't have been kids that grow into it, but that's the only thing we cut in the last 18 years.
No, I was just thinking that, given that the Town people are widely well-known for their long-distance running ability, it just seems like a great fit for our school if we could have that.
Some type of a club activity or something like that after.
Not tonight, but at some point, if anybody wanted to discuss athletics, I keep thinking about at my mature age, I can't play football any longer. I even have a hard time playing basketball, not because I'm old, but because I can't hit anything. But if we've got a tennis court 200 yards down the road. If we had a tennis team, and we're expanding upon your question, Ms. Robertson, if we had a tennis team, a golf team, those are individual sports that you can play longer in your life. And I'd love to see that. We have a lot of kids who love to play soccer, but we can't afford soccer and football. And one of the things that we worry about whenever we take a team to Phoenix or Tucson to play, we're talking probably a minimum of $100 in fuel and maybe more, and the salary of coaches and salary of assistant coaches and so on and so forth. So it gets expensive. There's a point where, I know we had a principal here several years ago, back in about 2005 and 6, and he said something one night at board meeting, the Defense Board, and he wasn't intending to, but he said, you folks have the same athletic program you have when there's 500 kids in high school, and now you've got 125. And there was some truth to that. So it's hard to have, almost if we had a sport, we need to remove a sport. But removing football, that's going to be a tough decision. We have the financial money tied up in the stadium. We have the desire of high school kids to play football and so on and so forth. But soccer, I think, is more of a universal sport, and we have a lot of kids who do well at that as well. That's personnel.
Okay. And then moving on to discussion of the curriculum and instruction items.
This is a subtle way to say, let's talk about how what I put as for title agenda is approval of student instructional model starting 10/26. You all recall, we did a protocol, you folks voted on a protocol for running school with COVID-19, and we had adopted a hybrid model. And the hybrid model was saying that we have to have social distancing in our classes. No one's doubling the size of the school. So we have to have roughly half our student body here at one time. So one of the first big jobs that Mr. Edlin had when he came on board, it's several, but this was one of them, is divide the student body into Group A and Group B. The directions I asked him to follow were do not separate families, try to keep we wanted a heterogeneous mix. We didn't want all the honor roll students one day and the students were struggling the next day, so we wanted Good. So we adopted having a schedule for our student group